this computer. Okay.
Hi, everybody. It is
Hey.
Vickie and Kristin, the Sleepless Astrologer.
So,
And we are here with your Aquarius 2018 year in review. And my cat is coming to kill me. And we are here to answer your questions. And Kristin has wine, and I have Pepsi, and it's most unfair, but that's how life goes. And if you guys have any questions about your charts, about being an Aquarius, about what's going on with Aquarius, put it in the comments below. Subscribe, please. Ring that little bell if you want to know when we're on. And you want to start by telling them a little bit about Aquarius, and I'll chime in the little bit I know. But I don't know any Aquarians.
well, that's because they're Aquarians. You know, I was thinking that too. I'm like, God, they're so hard to read in general. They really are.
They're politicians, and then they're Unabombers.
Well, Aquarius is the water bear of the zodiac. They're a air sign.
Ruled by Uranus.
Right. Fixed air sign. Right.
Which means you are stubborn, thoughtful, and eclectic.
They're extremely bright, extremely smart. They're the only human in the whole zodiac.
I did not think of that. That is true.
Yeah.
They're innovative.
They
are humanitarians. They are hippies. They are forward thinkers.
They're awesome at like the internet age. This is the dawn of, the age of Aquarius. This is all about innovation and technology and knowing things without knowing. That's Aquarians.
Yeah.
They're either extreme. They can be extremely warm. Usually if I meet somebody who's like super genuine and super warm, but yet not like emotional, that's an Aquarius. But to the extreme, they can be super assholes. Like they can totally separate their feelings and be compartmentalized, and they can totally have like the vault where they don't let anybody in to them, to their feelings at all.
Yeah, they're hard to pin down. They're kind of like, I love you from over there.
Afar. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Two of my closest girlfriends are Aquariuses, and I love them to pieces, but I also know they need their space. So we'll be best buddies for like one day, and then I won't hear from them for 6 months. And as a Cancer, I had trouble with that because
you've got that Libra moon, so you can.
Yeah, I'm okay. I mean, I love them, but like at first I was like, wow, they hate me. Like, what happened? What did I do? But I realized that they just need that time, and it's usually has to be them who initiate, because they need to they can't get too deep. And if they do, and I'm pretty deep, pretty emotional.
You're pretty deep.
I can be pretty deep. So as a water sign, I think that's not, so can you, right? So we have like this depth where Aquarians like to keep it a little bit on more of the surface level, but they'll tiptoe into the depths once a year. That's how I've looked at it with my Aquarian girlfriends. Friends who are boys, I don't notice that as much. But in general, Aquarians are, they're just I'm not saying they're shallow, because they're not, but they just don't like to get deep in the murk.
They're aloof.
Right. I mean, they're very protective of their emotions, and they need variety. They need, they just can't stay stuck in that. But they're amazing teachers, and they're amazing friends, and they're amazing humanitarians.
And they're brilliant.
Yeah, they're very smart. That's got a lot going for them. Aquarians are pretty interesting folk.
And a lot of them have the Aquarius nose. You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
Like that Roman nose.
Yes, I always think of Aquarians with I always notice them by their eyes. I think it's like they have, it's, this whole physical astrology, I can almost always tell what sign somebody is by how they're looking
at them.
And I feel like Aquarians, I notice their eyes, and I don't know about their nose. I always think of Aries in their nose.
I think of Aries with their foreheads and walking forward.
Their
eyebrows.
Yeah. Pisces, you can always tell by their eyes too. There's a dreamy, fishy quality to their eyes.
Cancers, the pills.
Have a big round face. like the moon. That's I always think of like, oh, I have a long face, but it's, round like the moon. And Capricorns, you can always tell by they're kind of like tall, lanky. Anyway, we're kind of going off the subject here. But
that would make a good subject to talk about one day.
I agree. I think that's interesting. Okay. So do you have a list of famous Aquarians? Yeah, and we can actually talk about their lists by that.
Well, we might notice a trend, or we might be like, I don't get it. Michael Jordan, Ellen DeGeneres, Justin Timberlake. He's got that nose. The Weeknd, Shakira, a whole bunch of YouTube and Instagram stars.
Oh, well, that makes sense, right?
Taylor Lautner, Abraham Lincoln, Jennifer Aniston, Oprah, Bob Marley, Ronald Reagan, Dr. Dre, Galileo, Mozart, Thomas Edison, Charles Darwin, Charles Dickens, my boyfriend, Tom Hiddleston, Ashton Kutcher, and Wayne Gretzky.
So superstars, right?
Internet stars.
Well, those YouTubers, right, being on the technology, they look like Oprah. I think she's probably the perfect example
in the world.
of an Aquarius and the way she's helped humanity, right? I mean, she loves everybody and everybody loves her. And that's like
you get a car.
Right? Like, yeah, they want to help people. I think she's a really great example of Aquarius.
So does Ellen DeGeneres, and she was actually Oprah's protege for a while.
Well, that I didn't know. That's interesting.
Yeah, and she kind of stepped into Oprah's shoes, and now she gives crap away and plays.
That's true.
And does things for like animals and gives checks away to retarded kids and.
Oh, you're not supposed to say that word, by the way.
No, she literally does. I'm not kidding. Like the child.
Mentally challenged.
Sorry, Mercury and Aries strikes again. So
you're gonna get hate mail for that.
All right, yeah, put it in the comment below. Feel free.
I went out, just an aside, when I used to work in the professional world, I said something once about I was having a retarded moment. And oh my gosh, I got in so much trouble for saying that word.
Really?
Yep. My coworker, actually, I think she was a Pisces. My coworker's brother has Down syndrome, had, and they let me have it about the word. And since then, I've been like oh my gosh, that was just a habit I'd said since I was young. Like, I'm retarded, but that's really bad. I can see the point, but yeah, it's semantics. Okay, so Aquarians for the year of 2018.
Let's see it.
What do they have coming? Okay, share
dun, 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 dun. You guys are excited.
Yeah, I mean, it should be. So, is this the right chart?
Yes, the sun is in Aquarius.
Okay. I'm having all these Mercury and retrograde issues with my computer tonight.
Well, we've got Pluto in the 12th.
Well, this is, we don't know. This is a 6 a.m. chart, so we don't know for sure.
We got 75% of the picture.
For 6 a.m. millennial.
Yeah.
But in general, we have transit-wise, what do they have going on for them? So they've gone through Neptune. That was years ago, though, right?
Yeah.
So Neptune came in, kind of changed your world a little bit.
Made you all a bunch of pot-smoking hippies.
Pluto is going to be in Capricorn for years, so they're not going to have that. Saturn is going to be Capricorn for 3 years. Jupiter looks like
Jupiter's been hanging out in Scorpio just forever. Yeah.
Well, Jupiter and all that unearthing of in Scorpio, all that unearthing of all these secrets. I think that's going to be, Yeah. So is it trining the sun at some point here? No.
Jupiter?
It's not.
Well, it's at 16, or is that the midheaven?
Yeah, let's see here. Jupiter is at 16 Scorpio, so no. it is going to be sextiled Sun, Mercury, and that's for millennials. Well, the South Node will be transiting over Aquarian Sun. So kind of old habits.
It's backwards karmic things to deal with.
Right. So one thing the Aquarians need to be kind of working on is getting outside of their Aquarian nature and becoming more outgoing, more into their opposition, which is Leo, right? So that's, I guess, what transiting North Node in Leo means right now for Aquarians, is that you have to find the balance of, the fiery energy versus the, getting a little bit more personal and passionate than Aquarius Sun usually lets you. I would say
you
best.
Might like it.
Yeah. Right.
You never know. You might like it, or you might feel like people are horrible, and then you lock yourself in your house. But
I do know a lot of Aquarians who are introverts. Yeah. And I think it's because they just pick up so much energy. They're not like Pisces intuitive, but they're very in tune with humanity. So like large crowds.
I was going to say, as a group in mass,
they really struggle. They either love it and they love being on stage, or they hate it and they can't handle it and they have to hide because it's so much stimulation that they can't handle all that data. And that's what it is for them. It's like the data that they get from nowhere. And North Node transiting, how long is North Node going to be transiting in Leo? I think that would be interesting to look. It's going to be there. It's retrograde. Actually, it starts the year retrograde. North Node does. Whoa. So
you may be pulled out of your comfort zone, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, it's almost the whole year that North Node is going retrograde. It actually goes back into Cancer in November of 2018.
Oh, so you'll have a happy holiday season.
And then it'll start going forward. It goes direct. Well, not in 2018. So it's going to be going retrograde through the first half of Leo. So anybody who was born between in the first third of Leo is going to be feeling this North Node, South Node energy. So North Node is just like a lunar point, right? It's not actually a planet, but people experience like a lot of their destiny with North Node. And North Node is here. And the exact opposite over here, which I don't have put in, would be your South Node. So if North Node is at 15 Leo, it's going to be at 15 Aquarius. And then it's going to go backwards. And then it's going to be, so it's going to go backwards up through Aquarius for the entire year of 2018. So anybody who was born between so January 21st or 2nd through what would say the 7th of February is going to experience this South Node hitting their sun and the North Node opposing it. And that means that you're supposed to be, it's going to be really easy to fall back into destructive patterns, the stuff that you're used to doing. Like you're not, in this lifetime, you're supposed to be kind of evolving away from those same old patterns that you already know about. And so you're going to feel a pull of like, you should, it's easy for you to do the same old thing, but you should really try to put yourself out of that comfort zone.
And if I could just chime in real quick, as a Pisces, I would say that you'll learn a lot of karmic lessons. And if you haven't learned them, you're going to now with the nodes activating your planets. So like, Kristin was saying, falling back into bad habits. I mean, try to learn what's going on and think about your past and maybe mistakes that you've made and how you can rectify them, and then let it go and move forward as the transit ends and frees you, and see what you're like as a person after that.
Right, because that's the ultimate goal, is to push yourself outside of where your comfort level is and what you know from before. You're supposed to be doing new things in this life. I mean, everybody has a different north node and a different south node in their chart. So depending on where it is when you were born, it's going to affect you differently. But the fact that your south node is going to be directly conjunct your sun if you're in the first third of Aquarius, I think that you'll feel that as like especially your sun is who you are. It's your will and your path in this life. And
It's your soul.
Yeah. And so you have to, it's a really great opportunity to push you out of that, of the old destructive habits that you might have been stuck with.
And we don't just mean like stop smoking. We mean like really deep stuff, stuff that's been bugging you since childhood, kind of deep stuff that sabotages yourself. You can let go of that at this time if you allow the nodes to do their job and you cooperate with it. Would you agree?
I think that's a great way to look at it. Yeah. But you have to do work with nodes. It isn't just an automatic thing. You have to actually be willing to put yourself out of your comfort zone. I see a lot of people with first, seventh house nodes. So like first so I either have people who are very used to being alone, like if their south node is in the first house and then their north node is in the seventh house, it's like, okay, they have to push into relationships. They have to really work on building relationships in this life. Or the opposite, right? Their north node is in the first and they have to work on being independent and stop relying on being in relationships. When you look at all the people, like, so a second and eighth house nodal will be all about like, okay, if your north node is in the second house, you're here to build and accumulate things. And in the eighth house, if your north node is in the eighth house and the south node is in the second, then you're supposed to be giving that money away. Like you're supposed to be helping other people and not taking. So we can go through the whole chart, and that could be another subject for another day. But like, I think that energy, that kind of the yin yang thing going on with the nodes. And I don't know why I'm just focused on that for Aquarius, but that's, I think, that very significant.
I think it's significant. I think it's significant.
Definitely.
And I think that's the focus. Do you have anything you want to add to that, or?
We have Jupiter and Mars that's going to be aspecting Aquarians later in the month, I think.
As a square. Which means that things will be a little bit of a struggle. It's like Aquarians, you guys might have it a little rough this year. Brace yourselves.
So when you have a Mars Sun square, it's just a little bit like, driving with the gas and the brakes on at the same time. And you have to, it might be a lower energy period of time. That'll only last maybe a month or two with Jupiter. Mars is only a few weeks. So, but it can last a little bit longer because before it hits the sun and then after it hits the sun. So I think that's, and also they're going to be hitting Pluto. This is for a millennial, this chart. So somebody in their 20s, but, most people it's going to be close, right? So I think at some point that's going to be happening. They're going to be unaspected with Saturn and Pluto. So I think those are the major transits for Aquarius this year. What about Uranus, right? Uranus is retrograde in Aries, so that's sextile.
And Uranus is the ruling planet.
Right. So let's figure out. So if Uranus is, let's say 24 Aries. So the last people born in the late part of Aquarius. So towards the end of Aquarians. So the, mid to end, 22nd of January, right? Is that right? No, February.
Yeah, seems about right. Yeah.
February. Those people will be experiencing really good energy from Aquarius, right?
Because it's their owner.
Yeah. And anytime you have a Sun Uranus aspect, there is unpredictability and sudden surprises, sudden, things that you learn about yourself. But it also
interesting chaos, controlled chaos.
Sextiles are a little bit nice. Like there's not, it's not going to be like, oh, you're going to have it's not going to uproot you or anything, but it's a nice energy flow. And since, it rules your sun, then it's going to just activate your, your path in life, I think, a little bit more. And that's what I've got for Aquarius.
I think that's pretty good. It's pretty good.
They're going to have some challenges, but they're going to get some energy as well. It's important for them to get outside of their comfort zone this year and really kind of try new things, try new pathways. And I think that's kind of for me overall.
All right. Again, put your questions and comments. We're happy to help you. You can find us on Instagram at the Sleepless Astrologer, and you can email us at thesleeplessastrologer@gmail.com if you're interested in a chart or any fun thing like that.
And we're on Facebook group.
That's
Astrologer.
Right. Yep.
Just search the Sleepless Astrologer on Facebook. We do have a group, and we also have a page that you can find us on. We're going to go live on our pages, every
third Saturday of the month.
Every third Saturday, we're going to be taking questions and going over charts for people for free.
Yep.
So you can join, subscribe, and we can let you know when that's going to happen.
Bring some wine, all that good stuff.
Wine is good.
Wine is good.
If you don't have a problem with
it. Anything else? Thank you so much for watching and supporting. Yeah. Tell a friend if you had a good time. Thumbs up, all that stuff.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Take care, you guys. Thank you. Have a good night or day.
Yeah.
I have to pee.